Spoiler warning, I'm spoiling these movies. Hello friends, it's been a while. Sorry about not uploading. I lost my job and it costs money to watch movies and I don't have an income anymore. So I just didn't watch movies. And I guess I could have kept going with the Skyrim content. I didn't want there to be like a significant amount of gaming content eclipsing my movie content. But we're back. Not because I got an income, but because I started pirating movies again. You know the drill. If you told me to recommend you a sci-fi family movie about a young boy that discovers a being from space and after some initial fear befriends it and turns it into a pet that they hide from their single mother until the US government tries to take it away, well, you've narrowed it down to two movies. Steven Spielberg's 1982 film E.T. the Extra-Terrestrial and Brad Bird's 1999 film The Iron Giant. Let's get into Meet Elliot. He's a little kid, and that's about the extent of his character. He meets E.T. No, that is not some old dude's shaven phallus. That is, in fact, an alien. From planet Eldius Phallium. This thing was voiced by Donald Duck. E.T. was actually voiced by a lady named Pat Welsh, and it's funny to imagine what exactly this lady was doing in the recording booth for a scene like this. Yeah, Pat, we're gonna need you to purr like a fucking cat. Sure thing, boss. The dialogue in this movie is not what I'd call bad, but it's not what I'd call interesting. Like Elliot says penis breath, haha. The little girl repeats stuff, hoo. The mother cries about her ex, oh no. But like, it doesn't really make me feel, you know? It doesn't penetrate through my day-to-day apathy. It doesn't break the cycle of numbness I've so long been trapped in. It doesn't alleviate the stress of modern garbage movie. Anyway, this kid kidnaps E.T. using candy.
Fucking Reese's Pieces.
But the government finds evidence of such shenanigans.
Goddamn Reese's Pieces.
The soundtrack in this movie tries so hard to be Star Wars. To everybody out there that isn't a huge sci-fi nerd, I want to try something real quick. The theme slaps though, I'll give it that. I fuck with the theme. Elliot fakes being sick to spend time with his alien bud E.T.
Me, boy. Elliot.
Alien! Elliot shows his brother and then his sister walks in, so it's revealed to both of them and they both freak the fuck out. They all wig out. Personally, if my brother showed me an alien, I'd say, yo Elliot, where are my fucking Reese's Pieces? That's it. That's the third and final Reese's Pieces joke. If you're watching this for my Reese's Pieces jokes, you can pack it up, pal. Show's over. Go ahead and click off the video. Alright, this bit has gotten way too convoluted. Here is a palate cleanser. The three siblings now spend time with E.T., hiding it from their mother, and it's fun to imagine how it would play out if E.T. wasn't such a friendly alien. Don't tell mom, guys, okay? Ah! Oh my god! Get mom! Get mom! We learn E.T. and Elliot are connected. E.T. drinks a bunch of beer, Elliot is drunk in class. E.T. takes a shit, and Elliot shits his pants in class. E.T. beats his wife, and now she's pressing charges on Elliot. You get the idea. So E.T. wanders around the house discovering things like the TV, and E.T. hates Tom and Jerry. E.T. learns to talk, and he's like, yo Elliot, let me call my fam up, aight? So Elliot and his brother start finding random junk to build an alien phone with when Elliot accidentally cuts himself. And that's when E.T. turns his finger into a glow stick and heals it right up. He could probably cure cancer. On their way to build the phone, we get the iconic bike scene, and it's iconic for a reason. I mean, this is visually thrilling. Like, yeah, I mean, this is a cool scene. I enjoy it. This is a good one. Anyway, they build the thing. It doesn't really do much. Elliot sleeps out in the woods, but when he wakes up, E.T. is gone. So the older brother goes out and looks for it, and then he finds him tweaked out next to a raccoon. By the way, I saw a reel the other day that was saying that raccoons are actually evolving to be our pets. If you want a pet raccoon, go ahead and like this video. Anyway, the US government comes and steals E.T. and their house. Boo! Boo! Nobody likes you, US government. They got E.T. and Elliot in hospital beds looking like this. Then E.T. dies. But then he comes back to life because his homeboys are coming back to get him. So the boys run away with E.T., which ensues in a high-speed bike chase. Okay, now you're pushing it. You get one. So the spaceship comes down to rescue E.T., and that's when he gives Elliot his iconic parting words. Yo, thanks for letting me crash, Elliot. Come visit me in Washington, D.C. Yep, he goes back into space along with any chance of curing cancer. On the other hand, this movie is a charming classic. It has some cool scenes, some funny scenes, a feel-good story. On the other hand, that's all this movie is. It's completely surface level. There's nothing that really turbulates my jets, if you catch my meaning. Anyway, I'm giving this movie a 5 out of 10. But now let's get into... Meet Hogarth, a way cooler name than Elliot. A name that means pig enclosure or swineherd. Hogarth has a knack for capturing things and making them pets.
Do you remember the raccoon, Hogarth? Ugh, I remember the raccoon.
I actually watched a reel the other day that was saying that raccoons are trying to domesticate themselves. So if you want a pet raccoon, go ahead and smash that subscribe button. Now the dialogue in this movie is good. It's interesting. I'm engaged. I forgot all about my deep-seated sorrow. So obviously Hogarth finds the Iron Giant. Big surprise. I mean, what would you think they were gonna do, huh? Crash a wedding? So the next day he lures him out with some metal.
Fucking metal.
So a government agent, Mr. Mansley, starts tracking the Iron Giant and discovers its involvement with Hogarth. So now Hogarth has the feds on his ass. So Hogarth, needing to feed the giant, leads him to the junkyard where they discovered this chill-ass dude named Dean, the most nonchalant motherfucker in the history of animated cinema. So the Fed moves in with Hogarth and his mother, so Hogarth does the classic spike their drink with laxatives trick, and then runs back to the Iron Giant. After some fun in the sun, the Iron Giant discovers the concept of death, guns, and killing. Mr. Mansley finds a selfie of me with the Iron Giant, and that gives him all the evidence he needs to send the military after Hogarth and his clanker. Luckily, they outsmart the US government by having the giant pretend to be a sculpture. Yeah! Fuck you, US government! Anyway, Hogarth pretends to shoot him with a toy gun, and the Iron Giant goes into kill mode and starts blasting shit. After finding out he's a walking, talking weapon, he runs away. So Dean and Hogarth go after him. Then some kids are about to fall from some really tall building, but the Iron Giant's Superman instincts kick in, and he rushes to save them. I mean, be real, dog. His hands are fucking metal. But okay, you know what? In the movie, they're fine. He saves the day, whatever. The US government sees him and they fucking shoot him. They don't waste a second, dude. It's on sight. So the giant goes back into kill mode and starts defending himself against the government. So Hogarth runs out and tells him to cut it out. He's like, yeah, my bad. But the child-harassing Fed, Mr. Mansley, commands a boat to shoot a bomb at the giant that is standing in the middle of town. So the Iron Giant says his farewells to Hogarth and sacrifices himself for the sake of the townspeople. Then he goes on to Warner Brothers Heaven, where he meets his idol Superman. And together, they go on to fight Jason Voorhees and LeBron James in front of the Cromulons. Well, actually, he lands in Iceland and rebuilds himself. Multiverses is the thing that actually died, not that E.T. minds. I love this movie, which means it's getting an 8 out of 10. But that brings us to the final piece of this puzzle, which is the better sci-fi family movie about some kid adopting an alien being. Well, brace yourselves. I give it to The Iron Giant. First, let's talk about E.T. Alright, Spielberg has got to be the most overrated director in Hollywood. Because sure, his cinematography is good, his blocking is good, but the story is always so lacking. It's always cliche, straightforward, it doesn't subvert any expectations, it feels hollow. What Steven Spielberg is truly good at is spectacle. And yes, E.T. is quite the spectacle, but it doesn't have the kind of layers that Iron Giant has. While looking at reviews for E.T., I found this comment on Reddit.
You lost your sense of magic. You have to see it from the eyes of a child.
And honestly, I would have to agree. I would have to not know what a good movie is to love this movie. So let's get into the Iron Giant. I mean, the whole concept of Iron Giant is what if a gun had a soul and didn't want to be a gun? I mean, that's some fucking heat right out the gate, right? But that's just it. The Iron Giant has a profound moral to it.
You are who you choose to be.
What is the moral of E.T.? Well, it's not so laid out, but it could be a coexistence, or saying goodbye, or a hybrid of the two. But my point is that it's not terribly specific or unique. And also the Iron Giant tackles both of these things as well, so. But honestly, there is a cajillion reasons why Iron Giant is the better movie, but I'm not here to argue which is the better movie, alright? I isolated this point because I'm making the case that the better family movie will have the stronger message for kids. If you want to get into the nitty-gritty details, they have about the same amount of sci-fi elements, they have about the same amount of government interference, and they have the same amount of single mothers. So I'm going to rest my case on Iron Giant being the stronger family movie because it has the better moral. Anyway, here's a clip of what would happen if the Iron Giant invaded the land of Ooh.
Come along with me, and the butterflies and bees. We can wander through the forest and do so as we please. Come along with me to a cliff under a tree where we can gaze upon the water as an everlasting dream. All of my collections, I'll share them all with you. Maybe by next summer, we won't have changed our tunes. We'll still want to be with the butterflies and bees, making up new numbers and living so merrily. All of my collections, I'll share them all with you. I'll be here for you always, and always be with you. Come along with me, and the butterflies and bees. We can wander through the forest and do so as we please, living so merrily.